The wind howled across the lonely valley, bending the tall grass like waves on a restless sea. Elias Turner stood on the porch of his weathered ranch house, hat low over his brow, eyes fixed on the distant mountains. Since his wife passed 2 winters ago, silence had become his closest companion. No laughter, no warm light in the windows, just the creak of wood, the whistle of wind, and memories that refused to fade. That evening the storm came early. Clouds rolled thick and heavy, swallowing the last gold of sunset. Elias was about to step inside when he saw something move near the tree line. At first he thought it was a deer until it staggered, then fell. He grabbed his lantern and rifle and headed out. The figure was a woman. Her clothes were torn buckskin and rough wool soaked from melting snow. Her dark hair hung wild around her shoulders, tangled with leaves and frost. Scratches marked her arms and her boots were nearly worn through. Yet even in that broken state there was something fierce about her, as if the mountain itself had shaped her. Her eyes snapped open when he knelt beside her, sharp, alert, untamed. "I will not hurt you," Elias said quietly, lowering the rifle. She studied him like a cornered wolf ready to bolt or strike. But the cold had stolen her strength. When she tried to stand, she stumbled. "You will freeze out here," he said. "You can stay 1 night, that is all." She hesitated. Then slowly she nodded. Inside the cabin the fire cracked warm and steady. The woman sat near it, wrapped in one of Elias' old blankets. She did not speak at first, just watched the flames as if remembering something far away. "I am Elias," he said, setting a tin cup of broth beside her. She accepted it carefully. "Mara." Her voice was low, rough from cold and silence. "You live alone in those mountains?" he asked. "Yes." "No family?" A pause. "Gone." He did not ask more. Some wounds were easy to see, others buried deep. That night Mara slept in the small bed near the hearth. Elias lay awake in his chair, listening to the storm pound against the walls. Once near midnight he saw her stir, eyes open, searching the shadows like someone used to danger. "Safe here," he murmured. For the first time her body relaxed. Morning came, bright and clear. Elias woke to the smell of something cooking. He blinked in surprise. Mara stood near the stove, hair tied loosely back, stirring a pan of eggs and wild herbs she must have gathered before sunrise. "You did not have to," he said. "You gave fire, food, shelter," she replied simply. "I give work." After breakfast Elias went out to mend a broken fence, but found Mara already there, hammering posts into the ground with steady strength. She worked without complaint, moving like someone who belonged to the land itself. Days passed. Then a week. Mara never asked to stay, but she never left either. She fixed tools, hunted game, patched the barn roof, and slowly, quietly filled the ranch with life again. The silence that once haunted Elias softened. Evenings by the fire were no longer empty. Sometimes they spoke, sometimes they did not need to. One night, as stars spilled across the sky, Elias finally asked, "Why did you really come down from the mountain?" Mara stared into the fire. "I was alone too long. Mountains keep body alive but starve the heart." Her eyes met his. "And now?" he asked softly. "I found warmth." Elias felt something shift inside him, something he thought had died with his wife, not replacing the past but growing beside it. Winter melted into spring. The valley bloomed green and gold. Laughter returned to the old ranch house, quiet at first, then real. One morning, months after that stormy night, Elias watched Mara standing in the sunrise, hair glowing like fire, eyes peaceful at last. "You said 1 night," he reminded gently. Mara smiled, wild, soft, and certain. "Mountains change slowly," she said, "but sometimes 1 night changes everything." And for the first time in years Elias Turner no longer felt alone.